In case you are wondering, this comet does not pose any threat to Earth. But it does give scientists a rare chance to study something from beyond our solar system.
Today, October 3rd, history is unfolding in the skies above us. A comet known as 3I-ATLS is making its closest approach to Mars right now. This is not just any comet, it is an interstellar visitor, only the third ever confirmed by astronomers, and it comes from far beyond our solar system. It began its journey around another star, perhaps billions of years ago, and after drifting silently through the galaxy, it has arrived in our neighborhood, passing close enough to Mars that our spacecraft may finally give us our clearest look yet at one of these mysterious travelers. NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, with its powerful high-rise camera, is on alert. That camera has given us incredible close-ups of the Martian surface, from dunes to craters to the tiny specks of rovers. Now, instead of looking down, it is pointing outward, hoping to capture an image of a comet from another star. Europe's Mars Express and the ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter are also ready. Together, these orbiters form a network of robotic observers all aimed at the same target. If all goes well, their cameras could give us the best resolution images we've ever had of an interstellar object. Meanwhile, Earth's most advanced telescopes, including Hubble and James Webb, are also watching, gathering data across multiple wavelengths. Scientists are measuring light, chemistry, and motion, building a complete picture of this comet as it sweeps past. This is an extraordinary opportunity. Interstellar objects are rare, so rare that in all recorded history, only 3 have been seen. Before 2017, none had ever been identified. We knew they must exist, fragments of planets and comets flung out of distant systems wandering endlessly through the galaxy, but they were only theory. Then, in 2017, came the first, Oumuamua. In 2019, the second, Borisov. And now, in 2024, we have 3I-ATLS, the third. Out of the millions of asteroids and comets cataloged in our skies, only 3 carry the confirmed status of interstellar. That's why today is so important. From the moment Atlas was discovered in July, astronomers knew it was unusual. Even the first blurry images hinted that it wasn't a typical comet. A faint tail seemed to be forming, shedding dust and gas, but its chemistry quickly puzzled scientists. Unlike comets in our solar system, which usually release more iron than nickel, Atlas appears to be doing the opposite. It is releasing far more nickel. That might sound like a small detail, but in astronomy, small details often point to enormous mysteries. Why would a comet from another system have this chemical imbalance? Could it reflect the composition of its parent star? Could it point to different conditions in its birth system? Or could it hint at processes we do not yet understand? Its size adds to the mystery. Current estimates suggest Atlas is about 3 miles across. Manhattan Island is only 2 miles wide at its broadest point. If you dropped Atlas onto Earth, it would overshadow an entire city. It is not as large as the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. That one was about 6 miles across. But it is still a world-shaking size if such an object ever struck Earth. Thankfully, Atlas poses no threat. Its orbit is taking it past Mars, then onward to Jupiter, before it drifts back into interstellar space forever. But even more astonishing than its size is its speed. Atlas is traveling at about 60 kilometers per second. That is 600 times faster than a race car. At that velocity, you could travel from New York to Los Angeles in under a minute. The fastest human-made spacecraft, like the Voyager probes, travel at around 17 kilometers per second. Atlas is more than 3 times faster. Its speed alone proves it is not bound to our sun's gravity. This is no local comet. It is a traveler from the stars just passing through. Scientists estimate its mass at a staggering 33 billion tons. Imagine a mountain of ice and nickel-rich rock tumbling through space with unstoppable momentum. It is so massive that even as it loses material, it shows no measurable recoil. That stability is part of what allows astronomers to calculate its immense weight. So what makes today, October 3rd, so critical? Mars. For the first time, an interstellar object is passing close to a planet where we have multiple orbiters and rovers. Normally, all we can do is watch from Earth and hope to gather enough light. But this time, we have a whole fleet of robotic explorers already in place. The HiRISE camera on the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter could capture a pixel or two of Atlas. It may not sound like much, but in astronomy, a single bright pixel can be gold. It could pin down the comet's size, brightness, and even constrain surface features. The European orbiters too will be scanning, while Earth-based observatories add more data. Hubble and James Webb are collecting spectra, breaking down the light into fingerprints of chemical elements. All of this together could finally tell us what Atlas is really made of, how it behaves, and how it compares to the comets of our solar system. After today, Atlas will continue its journey. It will head toward Jupiter and then out into the dark beyond the sun's grasp. We may never see it again. That's why this flyby is a golden chance, perhaps the best chance humanity will have for decades to truly study one of these alien visitors. But the mysteries of Atlas don't stop with its chemistry and speed. There's a strange coincidence that has captured people's imaginations. Atlas is traveling from nearly the same region of sky where the famous WOW signal was detected in 1977. The WOW signal remains one of astronomy's greatest puzzles. For 72 seconds, a radio telescope in Ohio picked up a signal 30 times stronger than the background noise. It didn't match any known satellite or planet. It seemed to come from deep space. When the astronomer on duty saw the printout, he circled the signal and wrote a single word: wow. That one word gave the signal its name, and for decades it has stood as one of the most tantalizing mysteries in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Now, scientists have noticed that Atlas comes from almost the same direction of sky. The alignment is within 9 degrees, with only a 0.6% chance of being random. Even more curious, back in 1977, when the WOW signal was detected, Atlas would have been about 3 light days away. That is close enough that, if it were artificial, a transmitter about as powerful as a nuclear reactor could have produced such a signal. Of course, that doesn't mean Atlas is artificial. The overwhelming likelihood is that it is natural. But the coincidence adds intrigue, and it underscores just how little we know about these visitors. This isn't the first time an interstellar object has stirred debate. Oumuamua baffled astronomers in 2017. It was elongated, showed no tail, yet accelerated slightly as it left the solar system. Some said outgassing explained it, others said the data didn't fit. Harvard's Avi Loeb suggested it might even be a fragment of alien technology, perhaps a solar sail drifting through the galaxy. The idea was controversial, but it highlighted how extraordinary Oumuamua was. Then Borisov arrived in 2019. It looked more like a traditional comet, glowing with a coma and streaming a tail. But it too was odd. It contained far more carbon monoxide than typical comets here, suggesting it formed under different conditions. Borisov showed us that even when interstellar comets look familiar, they carry surprises. Now Atlas is here, and it seems to combine the strangeness of Oumuamua with the cometary behavior of Borisov, plus new anomalies of its own. Nickel without iron, enormous size, immense speed, perfect trajectory through the plane of the planets. For scientists, it is like a puzzle piece that doesn't quite fit, and that's why today's observations are so important. As the data comes in from Mars and from telescopes across the world, we may finally learn more. Will Atlas confirm its nickel-rich chemistry? Will we detect unusual outgassing? Will its images show structure, jets, or fragments? Or will it surprise us in ways no one predicted? The truth is, every interstellar object we've observed so far has surprised us. There's no reason to think Atlas will be any different. Beyond today, the future looks promising for studying these objects. In the coming decade, the Rubin Observatory in Chile will begin scanning the skies with unprecedented sensitivity. It will likely discover dozens, maybe hundreds of interstellar visitors. Most will be faint, many will pass far away, but some will come close enough for us to study in detail. Each one will teach us about the diversity of star systems in our galaxy. Each one will carry clues about how planets and comets form around other suns. And
perhaps one day one of them will carry a clue to something more. That possibility is why Avi Loeb and others have argued for global coordination. He has suggested that the United Nations establish a committee to oversee the study of interstellar visitors, ensuring we treat them as a planetary opportunity. His reasoning is simple. If even one object turned out to be artificial, it would change everything. But even if they are all natural, they are still priceless messengers from the stars. So today, October 3rd, as Atlas sweeps past Mars, remember that we are witnessing something extraordinary. Our orbiters and rovers are watching, our telescopes are watching, and for a brief moment, humanity is peering directly at an object from another solar system. Whether it turns out to be just a nickel-rich comet or something more exotic, Atlas reminds us that our solar system is not isolated. We live in a galaxy filled with billions of stars, and fragments of those distant systems sometimes come to visit us. This comet began its journey long before humans walked the Earth. It may have formed around a star we will never see, in a system that may no longer exist. It has wandered for millions or billions of years through the dark void until today, when it briefly crosses our path. And then, just as quickly, it will be gone, heading back into the endless night. That is what makes this moment so powerful. For a brief window, we get to study it, to ask questions, to wonder. And when the data comes back in the days ahead, we may have answers that reshape what we know about interstellar comets. Or we may have even more mysteries. Either way, the universe is speaking to us. It is sending messengers across the stars. And today, on October 3rd, one of them is passing Mars. Stay tuned, because the story of 3i Atlas is just beginning. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like, subscribe for more cosmic explorations, and tell me in the comments, what do you think Atlas really is? A natural comet from a distant star system? Or could it be something more?